Central Texas principal and two special education teachers will stand trial this summer after prosecutors say the educators assaulted a student with autism while trying to restrain him. Court records also allege the principal of the school failed to report the incident in a timely manner to proper authorities. Investigator Wiley uncovered in the last 7 years, the Texas Education Agency has investigated more than 100 cases involving teachers unlawfully restraining students with special needs.
Yes, Josh, but very few of those cases are substantiated by state investigators, while others are still playing out years after allegations first surfaced.
It's the relationship and it's the trust and it is the give and take of that relationship.
In November 2020, the Williamson County attorney issued criminal charges against the principal of Hutto High School, its special education director, and a special education teacher.
What did we work on last time? Money, honey.
That teacher, Karen Perez, is seen in this KXAN story a month before her arrest. Court records allege she and special education director Stacy Coerth restrained, struggled, and used duct tape to secure a jumpsuit on a nonverbal student with severe autism 2 years earlier. The jumpsuit was supposed to keep the student from using the bathroom in inappropriate places, according to court records. At one point, the records outlined Perez appeared to have the student in a chokehold while he was escaping into the hallway, and the principal failed to report the restraint to the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services within the required 48 hours. But 2 years after their arrest, the teachers and principal involved have never left campus and remain employed by Hutto ISD. At the heart of this case are Daniel Thompson and his son, who lives in a group home and has since graduated from high school.
At first I didn't believe it because I was thinking this can't be about the thing that happened.
Thompson said the teachers had his permission to try the jumpsuit and called him immediately after to tell him it did not work. He said he was shocked when years later he learned the Williamson County Attorney's Office was pursuing criminal charges against the teachers.
One of the most troubling ones in the report is they said they briefly had him in a chokehold, and I've seen the video of this and it's not a chokehold. It was basically they're trying to guide back to the room, and he kind of ducks under the arm, and when you're guiding someone around and they duck under, it's going to come up against the face briefly. It's all maybe a second and a half, 2 seconds. It's not a chokehold.
Since 2015, the Texas Education Agency has investigated more than 100 reports of educators using unlawful restraint on students with special needs. Data from TEA shows the state agency has substantiated 18 of those cases. In 2017, an Austin ISD special education teacher pleaded guilty and voluntarily forfeited her teaching license after an investigation found she bit a 9-year-old student with special needs. Travis County prosecutors are currently investigating a case where court records say another student shot video of a special needs teacher at Manor High School hitting a nonverbal student with autism in the head multiple times.
Unfortunately, physical assault, maltreatment of students with disabilities is something we see, and it's not isolated to one particular district or one particular area of our state.
Colleen Potts is an attorney with Disability Rights Texas, a nonprofit advocacy group in Austin.
Most of the time, our cases involving physical restraints do not end in a criminal prosecution. And sometimes we even struggle getting DFPS to go into the schools and do a thorough investigation.
Texas law allows parents to receive a copy or view surveillance video showing their child on a school campus. But often, policies from school districts block parents from surveillance showing incidents involving their own children. In the Hutto incident, there was limited video footage in the hallway. Court records say several adults in the video are seen trying to hang on to the student, at which point the teacher, Perez, loses a shoe and hangs onto the student with her arm around his neck. That same affidavit also refers to that incident as a chokehold, two different descriptions.
I think if there had been more cameras in the situation for Sam, it would have been more obvious that there was no harm being done.
Thompson says he plans to testify in defense of the teachers this summer.
I just don't think these teachers should be prosecuted. They were doing their best, and after all those years, I know how challenging that can be. I don't believe they lost their tempers or anything like that. They were just trying to do what was best. And in my book, that makes them heroes, not criminals.
We haven't seen the video in this Hutto case yet. Prosecutors denied our request to view it because it is being used as evidence in court. We reached out to the Travis County District Attorney and the Williamson County Attorney for all of the cases in our report. Both have declined to speak with us. We also reached out to the defense attorneys for all the educators we featured in our report. All have either declined to talk with us or have not gotten back with us yet.
What about the Texas Education Agency? It's conducting its own investigation into these cases, right?
That's correct. There are 3 investigations, 1 into the principal of Hutto High School and 2 into the educators that were involved in this case. That case has yet to be closed in the 4 years since this incident.
Well, we understand the TEA would have the ability to potentially suspend or revoke their teaching licenses, but is 4 years typical?
It really depends. This case is a little bit odd in that, 1, the teachers weren't charged until 2 years after the incident, and also the district in all that time has not ever terminated the employees or reprimanded them to our knowledge for this incident.
And there are multiple units within TEA that could investigate something like this.
That's correct. We've identified at least 3 units that TEA has that investigates incidents like this, and we've also found there's at least 10 open investigations into cases involving students with special needs.
All right, Kelly, thank you very much. There's more to our investigation of student restraint across Texas, and the system disability advocates say is failing some kids. Why lawmakers are now taking a closer look, coming up.